We're gonna do kind of a fall scene with some fall looking flowers and colors. So the first thing I did was get out my color wheel, because that's the easiest way to find a quick way to decide on your colors, to not just have to sit there and look through the colors. I'm going to use something in the orange family, probably the red orange family, but I'm just going to start here in the orange. So that's going to be my main focal point color. And other accent colors that'll look good with this, I'm just going to choose these two, and that's going to be in the violet spectrum and this green spectrum. And of course I can always use the yellow and the red with it, and anything in that spectrum in between. So that's where I'm staying with it, and I'm going to use my wood palette today because I have an idea with that. I've got some neutrals. These are some, I think this says Hobby Lobby, so it came from Hobby Lobby. This is raw sienna. And a little bit of yellow ochre. And let's see, Cad Yellow. Probably won't take a lot, that one's pretty bright. And I'm coming over on my violets. Here, this one just says medium violet. You can use whatever paints you have already. These are the ones that I prefer, and I'll have some links for you, but you can use whatever you want to. I like these heavy body paints that have a lot of pigment to them because I don't like to have to repeat myself on this stuff, so, and go over it and over it. And here's a lighter one. This is Dioxazine Purple. Just a little bit of teal. And then we're going to go with our reds. I have a Cad Red Dark and Cad Orange Hue, Alizarin Crimson Hue, a couple of greens, Chromium Oxide Green. I wanted to use this green gold, but it was dried out to dust because I didn't put the lid on it good. But that's okay. We have a yellow green. We're going to do a Vandyke Brown, because your black and white really, you know, don't count as your colors too much. And I don't like to use black, I like to use brown. So, and I'm going to put a little bit of white because that's how we roll. I'm going to do a mixture of palette knives and brushes in all likelihood. I've got my water thing here. Let's put that there. Try to decide whether to do it that way or this way. I like to get at least most of the background on first. So let's find a decent size. Here's one. Flat brush and mark out our stuff. I was planning on doing a pumpkin. It's hard for me to work this small. A pumpkin as the vase. I guess we could still do that, but I like to mark it all out. I'm going to mark everything else out with our brown. Even this a little bit. Trying to have everything emanating from the stem. And then we will probably have a few big leaves. And a few stems. And then I want to think about our background, and I kind of want to go in a reddish orange color, of course. So let's see if we can get some of these two together to make us a color. And I think that's okay. Now we'll need to have a darker version and a lighter version. Let's see if we can add some more to our brown here to get our darker version. I'm just going into the areas that would be kind of shadowed. Kind of pouncing in and out around this stuff, covering up part of it, all of that. These are just placeholders. So most of that doesn't matter. What matters is the little specks of white canvas that I can see through it, and I don't want those. That does matter. See how that leaves a shadow of where something's going to be in a minute? Some kind of stem. Okay, now we're going to go directly into our mixed red color. This is a 9x12 gallery wrapped canvas, by the way. Okay, now I'm going to get some white, come down here, and let's make our lightest color because our sun's coming from this way. That's way too light. Let's see if I can grab anything to go with it. I liked it better darker. I wish I wouldn't have done that. Let's see what we can find. I'm just making little X's on here. Layers and layers and layers. That's what's important. Layers and layers and layers. Because none of this is going to show later anyway. Well, let's go with a layer of this. What was this? We got the yellow ochre as our lighter one and the raw sienna as our darker one. This is our focal point right here. This is where all the main attention, the largest flower, the most important flower, all the things. All the things resonate out of right here. We're going to pretend this is the back side of one. Fixing to come back with our yellow ochre. Everything's resonating out of that center, but all of our centers don't have to be facing forward. I'm not starting all the way down at the bottom on this one because the bottom's going to be darker. Our next option is we're going to put in just a tad of this orange coming from the center, not all over. But in the same kind of fashion. This one won't have it because it's facing down. Now we're going to do the same thing with just a tad of our brighter yellow. Even just a dab of our red. Not a lot. Make it a happy little pumpkin, right? Bob Ross would be proud of our pumpkin. That aside. I'm going to mist my palette because it's drying a little bit, and I'm going to grab just another small straight brush, wet it, and let's get our stems and stuff in there. I need some more of that Vandyke Brown. Oh, one of our leaves is missing. Was it here or was it here? I think it was here. Now I'm going to put some placeholders for some little berries or leaves or something on here. You can do whatever is fun to you on this part. Make them straight across from each other. Make one here, one there. Let's see, you know, these sunflowers have these long ones, I think. These can be rounded or pointed. Normally they just get smaller toward the tip. I'm going to thin that out really good with some water. and get a liner brush, which is just a little bitty sets of hair, and draw a few petals on our flowers. These are going to be smaller because this flower is a little bit smaller. And they don't need to encompass this whole thing or anything like that. The colors that are underneath here really don't matter in the big scheme of things. Let's make it a little darker of a shadow down here from our pumpkin. Now we're got a little bit of brown in here, but I'm going to go a little bit into my green. Grab some of that brown to mix in with it and make this a deeper green. This is just back to my other little flat brush. That's probably 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to hold it this way, like a palette knife. Now we're going to decide which ones are going to be leaves and which ones are going to be berries or such. And that's it all. And we're going to have 3 sets of berries there, there, and there. And let's go with the purples. Little semi-round circle there is all that needs. You know, I like to put a little of everything everywhere, so let's get a little in here. Rinse and go to our lighter purple. Ooh, that's pretty to me. Love purple. Right over the top of everything we've done already. Not quite as much, but it's like a speckle on a blueberry going right up these other purples. Leaving that bit of texture in there where it's raised. Okay, and as of yet, we don't have any teal on here, so we're gonna go right up in them same berries and dot them all. The green while I've still got a little bit of this teal on my brush. Now we're going to go into our lighter green. regular green, which we never use, just to get a tad in there. I'm going to go with some of our yellow ochre, just a touch of our cad yellow and a little bit of white. We don't want to mix it up perfectly or completely. We want a little more of all the colors to still come through. Okay, I really think that's it. That is it for right now. And let me get my palette knife. I'm hoping, I have a plan in my mind for eventually for my palettes to be some kind of art, so spread this out today and get my first coat on here. Loving it so far. This will eventually, I hope, be an abstract landscape of some sort. And what's the final thing you always do? Let's sign our painting. And go back to the liner brush. Grab me a little paint off of that palette, and let's put a T. I got too much water. You can always do this with a marker later, whatever you want to do as well. I don't know, just go right on here and get it. There you go. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do all these sides. Why don't we mix up what we've got left here? And it's going to make mud, and mud is okay in this instance. Go back to our original brush, and let's get these sides. You can do these in black, brown, teal, bring one of your colors from the side, anything you want to do. Because you're the artist, it's your painting. Choose a color and let it be your signature color. Do whatever you want to every single time. That's what I'm going to do every single time. But when you paint the sides like this, then it doesn't have to be framed, and it can go right up on the wall, or when you have the wide sides like this, it can go right up on the shelf, anything you want to do. Get a little water. There you go. Hey! Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to see your version, and I hope you had a good time. Bye. I want to show you one more thing, so I'm going to point you back down. Once your painting is completely dry, if you want to add a little more detail, you can use a gel pen like this one. You can come back to get a little more detail to anything you want a little more detail to. I don't know if all this is all the way dry yet, but we'll see. You can just put a little more detail anywhere you want a little more detail. And what made me think of it is I wanted to go around these little berries. See how that really makes it stick out more? There's a big clump of purple right there, so I avoided that little area. Just like we did with the black here. You can do that one too, or just do this one. I kind of like doing just that one. I really like the dark on that, but let's do it anyways. So now, there you go. Bye for real this time. Bye.